Hi guys. So I figured because my camera or my computer, whichever it was, decided to eat my Playing With Me video that I would do kind of like a draw with me video to kind of show you guys how I make my graphics that I use for my stickers and my kits and the icons and stuff. Sorry, there was fingerprints all over it. Anyway, I use the Apple iPad Pro 12-inch. Yeah, and the Apple Pencil. I have tried quite a few other styluses, the Adobe stylus. I can't think of the other one, but it kind of had like a circle. Anyway, I hated them, didn't like them at all. I like this one a lot. So today I thought I would just kind of show you the 3 main apps that I use for drawing and kind of just a quick overview of what I use each one for. So here is my drawing folder. I do have a bunch of apps in here. I pretty much just use Procreate, Adobe Draw, and Adobe Sketch. These other apps I kind of just play with. I have used some of them at some point, but these are my main 3. So Adobe Sketch is pretty much just like a watercolor thing. You can also do like pencil sketching. So like here are my sketches from my cactus bloom kit that I did. And then some other sketches, some date nights, the summer sloth, where I do the strawberry cats, 4th of July, more of the summer sloth. As you can see, they're really rough sketches. So, you know, we'll just add another layer here, but this is your pencil. So this is going to give you just, you know, like a pencil line. And you also have an ink pen and a marker brush, a fatter marker brush. So what's cool about this is it's kind of like a marker. So if you start coloring something in and you go over it, you see how it's getting darker and more opaque, which is the same thing as like really any marker that you use. So then here's the watercolor brush, which is really neat. If you watch it, it's actually like behaving the way that watercolors do behave. So you'll see that they'll start to mix together. Like if you laid down wet watercolors next to each other, they're going to start mixing like this. And if you wanted them to stop mixing, you hit the little fan and it air dries. So we're gonna get rid of that. And then the larger watercolor brush, which again will do the same thing. The colors will move around as you lay them down. You also have a thick acrylic brush. I haven't messed that much with this one. Wow, okay. You have an ink brush, smudge, spray, acrylic brush, ink marker, pastel, And then you have, I don't know why those are down there again. Okay. Anyway, and then you can change like the color if you want to sketch in a different color, if you want it to be more opaque, less opaque, normal stuff. So I do like a lot of sketches in here. But then I also do a lot in like Procreate as well. So there's that. And then also the cool thing about Adobe Sketch is that, so this layer I did in here, which is really, I just used the big watercolor brush, laid down some watercolor, and then this was a drawing that I outlined and colored in Adobe Draw, and I brought it, imported it into Adobe Sketch, and was able to add it on top of the watercolor and then add a shadow in there as well, which I thought was really neat. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I just really did it for fun because I wanted to see if it would work. So yeah, and you can separate your things by projects. Like this one was really cool because again, there's the watercolor layer that honestly, like, I messed with for like a half an hour getting it to go just the way I wanted it, and then I added the foxes on top, and I thought they came out super cute. So yeah, so that's pretty much Adobe Sketch. This links up with, if you have a Creative Cloud account through Adobe, it links up through that so that it like automatically goes to your computer or goes into however you have that set up. But that's what I use. So the next thing that I kind of do both in, I sketch and in color in, is Procreate. So let me see here, let me find one that I have like a beginning and an end to. Okay, so here's this. These are the little ghosts for the October monthly kit. There'll probably be a weekly kit that has maybe not these exact ghosts in it, but you know, kind of like it. So yeah, all the way back to the beginning. Let's turn all these off. This is kind of what I started with, is just like drawing things, doodling stuff out, you know, and then adding a layer, and drawing stuff. So we'll just add a new layer here, and we'll turn the background back on so that, there we go. Are we on the right layer? Yep. All right. So Procreate has a ton of brushes when you start, and honestly, I don't remember what came with Procreate and what I've uploaded to it. Excuse me. Oh man, anyway, so they do have like sketching stuff. You have, you know, your pencils, shading, bamboo chalk, all that. You have a whole bunch of inking stuff. I think the inking stuff that it came with was like, I want to say these 6. It could be something different, I don't know. Yeah. Then you have painting brushes, which I believe were these 4 that it came with, and then I imported all these. That's the thing I like about Procreate, is that you can import new brushes. Airbrushing, shop. These are the brushes that I use a lot, so I made my own tab with them. So we have the pencil, and this is what I use for you know, sketching out shapes. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I was just playing with it. And then this round calligraphy brush, I want to say I downloaded from iPad Lettering, but I'm not entirely sure. So this one is one that is made for lettering, and you can see it gets thinner and thicker the harder you press, but I really like using it for outlining and inking and stuff. So that's what I use it for. Whoa, fix that. So yeah, there we go. You can see that a little bit better there. The airbrush, this one's pretty neat. It just kind of does like, you see that? Like a little drip, like a spray can drip. Maybe if there we go. So yeah. And we have like paint splatter. Little fairy lights. I think this one's pretty neat. It's kind of like a galaxy thing. We have water droplets. And then this is kind of like a blurry wash. So if you do that and then you add a different color, it will kind of mix them together, which is pretty neat. Yeah, so then just a whole bunch of brushes. This is one of those apps that I always tell people, get it, play around with it. I like this one a lot. It's like a light, you can't see it when it's that small. And it adds like a little, like a glow, like a neon. A little neon glow to it. I think that's really neat. Anyway, yeah, this is one of these apps where you really have to get in there, play around, watch tutorials. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. When you're new, I would suggest doing lots of layers. So if you do something, let's just say, okay, so you did that and you really, really like it, but now you want to add something else, but you're not sure how you're going to like it, add another layer. Okay, so that if you screw up and you're like, oh my God, that's not in the right spot, it doesn't line up, you hit that little arrow. And you can get everything to line up. And then if you like the way that it is, you can merge it down, and now it's one. Now, did you make a mistake and you don't want them that way? You hit undo, and it'll say undo merge layers, and there are your two layers again. This is why I like Procreate. It's very user-friendly for beginners, because really anything you can undo, you can go back, you can fix, and it's not a huge issue. I really need to get like a different, I have like a regular screen protector on here, like one of those glass ones. I need to get one of the matte ones so that fingerprints aren't everywhere. Yeah, so that's pretty much Procreate. Like a little intro to it. And you can do all sorts of things, like this was done. And this is a whole bunch of layers. I think altogether I worked with 20 different layers making this all work the way that I wanted it to before I merged it down into one. This was another example of my unicorn sticker, is just a ton of layers. There was a rough sketch, there was another sketch, there was another sketch after that, you know, then there was inking, and then there was colors. So there was a lot going on, but it allows you to keep everything separated. It also allows you to do things with, like, this is clip art that I purchased. And you can put that clip art into your Dropbox, and you want to import an image and import from your Dropbox. I don't even know if I have anything in here. I don't. Dang it. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. So here's a ribbon that I drew previously, and I put it into my Dropbox as a PNG, and now I can put it in here, and I can put it down, and I can duplicate it, and then I can move that over here. And so, like, this clip art here is each a separate piece, and honestly, I only did one half. I put half of this together, the different branches, duplicated it, flipped it, put it together, and put another piece of clip art right in the middle. So that was, you know, pretty neat. Now, oh, the other thing that a lot of people use Procreate for is to practice lettering. So here we go. I got this sheet from, I want to say Mama Lay's blog, yeah. So hang on, my chair is going to be noisy for a second. I'm sorry. And anyway, I just saved it on my iPad and imported it here. Created a new layer, and then let's find a brush. And this is a great way to practice. Like, if you really like the way that somebody writes, so you have these lines here that you can practice on, but if you're still trying to learn and you're trying to figure out the movements, you can just write straight over the example, right? So that will show you, like, what the movement is. Like, this isn't a circle. You're not making a circle. You're kind of making an oval, which mine isn't even that good. I still need to practice, but you get the point. You can, it's a good way to practice. Yeah, so I'll do Adobe Draw, which, oh, and I'm doing stuff in here. Anyway, Adobe Draw is kind of what I use to outline and color things in. So, okay, we'll just do this one. So this one, here's the sketch that I did in Procreate, and now I want to turn them into little icons. The only thing about Adobe Draw that I don't like is that you can zoom in, but you cannot rotate. So this has a bunch of brushes as well. I use the basic round. For outlining, I turn the pressure off. If you have the pressure on, it pretty much just means that the lighter you press, the skinnier the line. The harder you press, the thicker the line. I don't like that for outlining, so I don't use it for outlining. Yeah. So this is gonna be a little germ guy. Yeah, so we're just gonna outline him real quick. Nope. And see, that line didn't really match up, so I'm just gonna hit undo. And again, don't get like so caught up on little tiny stuff like that. Part of the beauty of having things hand drawn is that they're unique and there is going to be mistakes, and that's okay. And there's gonna be imperfections. And honestly, that's why I like things that are hand-drawn versus something that's not. Like it's, you know, too clean. Things that are too clean I don't like. I'm kind of a messy person anyway. And you don't have to go exactly with your sketch if you don't want to. You know, it's yours. You don't have to. So yeah, like for this little germ guy, let's give him, let's do like that, and then we'll go back to, let's go to this green, put this at around 60. So this just means that it's not a solid color, that you can kind of see through it, and I think that's, oh, there we go. Now this one also has shapes, which I really appreciate. Because I stink at drawing perfect circles. So this kind of lets me cheat. But yeah, that's so that's kind of how that one works. This one as well, you can do different layers, and I think that's something that I'm going to get into in another video, just because that can get I don't want to say confusing, because it's really not that confusing. It's just, it's time consuming. So, and I just kind of wanted this one to be like a little overview. So once that is done, you get these all done. You can upload them. You can copy image to your Creative Cloud. You can send it straight to Illustrator, straight to Photoshop. Publish it on their, I don't know, their drawing thing. I've never used it. Yeah, but that's pretty much how I draw my graphics. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. I will try to answer them the best that I can. I'm not a professional at this. Honestly, I wing it. You know, all this stuff is trial and error for me. I will try things. If it doesn't work out, I'll try it a different way. So, you know, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I'm not going to bullshit you and be like, oh yeah, I know everything, because I don't. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, and I can't wait to do another one. So have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.